Do you think you can make a spectacular arrangement like this with only $25 worth of flowers? I think you can. Hi, welcome to another video. Today I'm going to show you how to make a spectacular 3-tier floral display using very few flowers and some imagination. If you're new to the channel, welcome. My name is Katherine Bergman, and I'm a florist with over 30 years experience designing weddings and events, sharing all things floral with you each week. Are you ready? Let's get started. So today we're going to do an arrangement on this 3-tier tray. I'm always trying to use things I already own. I've had this 3-tier tray for many years. I use it every Christmas for my Christmas buffet. And I would put pastries on here. I have like 15 to 20 people every Christmas morning, and we have a big buffet, and I put pastries on here. I bet a lot of you have these 3-tier trays, and other than holding fruits or, baked treats, I thought it'd be fun to show you a different way to use this with flowers. Now, what we're going to do is have like a fruits and flower display for fall. Beautiful centerpiece for the middle of your kitchen island. If you're going to be doing a buffet for Thanksgiving, this could be sort of the middle, focal point for the buffet. So there's a lot of uses for an arrangement like this. What I'm going to use are trays. These are clear, shallow acrylic trays that we buy as florists. And what I'm going to have is a 6-inch, a 9-inch, and an 11-inch. And that's just because that's the size of the tiers on my tray. So look at your tray and see what fits on there. A good place to buy acrylic trays, if you're not a florist, is Home Depot and places like that, where they have the little shallow trays for catching water under potted plants. And they usually have an assortment of sizes. So that's a good place to look if you don't have access to these. These are called Lomey Trays. Now, in the interest of time, already greened in each tier of the tray with greenery and some berries. So I'm going to go ahead and set that in here. This is the middle tier. Okay. This is the bottom tier. And this is the top tier. Magic, done, right? See, already looking pretty good. We just greened in with an assortment of greenery. I have pittosporum and viburnum, and also these orange toyon berries. Now, rose hips will look great in here, or some other kind of berries. You can do privy berries. The black privy berries would be really fun in here. Anything that you like, it's just really for texture. And you don't have to do berries. You could just do greenery. And I love the look of the berries because it really speaks of fall and the season. And I greened in low because we want to see each tier really well, right? We don't want it too high so it looks just like a giant arrangement. We want it to look like a 3-tiered arrangement. I was going to go out and buy some fresh fruit. And I thought, wait, I have all these great artificial fruits that might be really fun to use. So we're going to use artificial fruits. We've got these sparkly pears and pomegranates. And then I have artificial grapes. If you have real or artificial grapes, you want to wire it on these wire picks. Okay. And then I have an assortment of blooms here. I cut short because I know we're going to use it short so that I can all fit on a tray. We've got orange roses, red roses, mums, coxcomb, and some extra greenery in case I see any bald spots. Okay, so let's get started on designing. I think I'm going to start with our fruits because the fruits are going to be in the middle of our arrangement. So we want to go ahead and place them first before we put the flowers in, right? So I'm going to place this pear right here in the middle. And I'll do it just kind of, mix it up however you think looks nice. Pear here. Now these are fun fruits. They look like sugar fruits. So you can use them at Christmas time as well. I bought them many years ago. I don't even remember where. I always like using fruits and flowers. Here's a gold apple. That might be fun. Maybe I'll put it down on this tier here. So I'm grouping the fruits kind of in the middle of the arrangement. Here's a pomegranate. Okay. Do another pair here, like a red one with the two golden ones. Maybe we do another pair here. Okay, that's all we have so far. And perhaps we do another little pair up here, since we have a bald spot over here. Okay. I see this sticking out a little too much, so I'm just shortening that little pataspora. Okay, so we have our fruits placed. And then I'm going to use some flowers. We don't need a lot of flowers. That's another beauty of an arrangement like this. It's a lot of show without a lot of flowers. You could buy some artificial fruits or use real fruits. Apples, pomegranates, persimmons are all wonderful for using an arrangement like this. I've got some bright red roses here. I'm just going to set in here. Some orangey roses. I'm doing the middle tier right now. This kind of reminds me of doing a cake. We've done our share of wedding cakes. Sort of reminds me of doing a cake, maybe because it's a three-tiered arrangement. Maybe some coxcomb for that beautiful velvety texture. Okay, but coxcomb here, and I'm going to start on the bottom tier here. See, it takes very few flowers, so if you didn't want to, go all out and spend a ton of money on flowers, just get some fruits. And if you have one of these trays, you can put together a really spectacular arrangement without breaking the bank. So much more effective than if you just did an arrangement in a vase. That's why I'm always showing you guys creative ways to use different props, because I think that, if you're having a dinner party or having friends over and you do something like this, it's so much more memorable and impactful than if you spend a lot of money on a lot of flowers but just plop them in a vase. Now, this is designed by textures because everything's really low and compact, so you kind of look at your textures and see what works. And you don't want to overfill with flowers because you want to save some space for your grapes. In fact, this is something you can do with leftover flowers. Like if you bought flowers to do with like a centerpiece and you have a few random stems left over, this is a really spectacular way to use up the flowers you bought. After we're done, we'll count how many of each item we used, and you'll see that this floral filled, really lush arrangement actually takes very few flowers. I think that's all we need. I guess we can do another orange rose on this bottom tier here. And it's definitely an arrangement that you can translate for different seasons. Say you're doing like a bridal shower or a tea or a garden party, then you can go for soft colors of spring and summer and do like a pastel arrangement. If you're doing Christmas, you could do Christmas greens with just red roses and white lilies. If you want a traditional, and do Christmas ornaments in here. So there's a lot of versatile ways to use a three-tier tray. And things like this you can often find at those home decor stores like Home Goods and TJ Maxx, places like that. I love going to those places to see what they have available because you never know, right? And I'm always collecting interesting props like this. Maybe we'll do a coxcomb here. Okay, I think we're mostly done with the flowers. I have some mums here. I'm trying to think if I should do some of these golden mums. I think that'd be really pretty, very fall. So I'll do a couple of mums. But I'm trying to save some space for the grapes as well, so don't want to overfill. Okay. Maybe I'll do the mum here so you can see it. Okay. Added a couple of mums on this side. Maybe I'll add some on this side. Okay, maybe I'll add this mum on the bottom here. And add a terracotta mum up top. Since your top tiers is your smallest tray, you have to be mindful of that and not add things that are too big that will overwhelm it. Okay, got these little terracotta spray mums, and these are all very inexpensive flowers, like the pom-pom mums, and the, you know, mums are pretty inexpensive. I go often to Trader Joe's, and they always have them for like, I think maybe like $4 a bunch. So these are very inexpensive flowers that I'm adding in here. Okay, I think we're done with the flowers part. Let's add in the grapes. So I just had a hodgepodge assortment of grapes. And you can buy all green, all black, all red, whatever, you know, strikes your fancy. I have an assortment here. And I have them on picks. These are called wired picks. Now, if you don't have access to wire picks, just use wire and wire them onto wooden stakes. Like you could buy them at home improvement stores like Home Depot and places like that. I believe that they have stakes for plants and they could work. These are called wire picks, and this is a florist specific item. So I'm not sure if you can find it very readily in craft stores. And I'll see if I can find it on Amazon. If so, I will link it in the description below so that you can buy some wire picks. They're really, really useful, especially for holiday designs. And they come in different lengths. I always buy the long ones because you always cut them short, and then you don't have to have a different size for each project. Okay, got the grapes on this side and some grapes on this side. I have some grapes that are little like this, which are really cute. They're just left over from various design projects. I'm always buying things like this. Now, the artificial grapes are available on Amazon. I think that's where I bought mine. It's kind of hit or miss. Sometimes you get some from Amazon and the color is egregious. Sometimes they're good. So you just have to try them. So I just want it to look bountiful and full, right? Oops, I did not wire this one. Okay, I didn't wire this one, so I'm just going to place it here. It's okay if you put it sort of in the middle of your arrangement. You're not going to need to wire it. How did I forget that one? It's always nice to have it cascading kind of down the side. Got some cascading down the side here. And we have one last little cluster of green grapes we'll add in here. Okay, now I'm going to spin it around to make sure everything we've greened in stayed in place. I see a little bald spot here, so I'm going to just add a little bit of greenery right there. Okay, looks good. Everything's covered. We don't have any underwear showing, as my instructor used to say. No underwear showing. Don't want foam to be showing through. Okay. So it took very few flowers to create an arrangement that looks this spectacular. The amount of flowers I use, you could probably buy from your grocery store for about $20. So you can make an arrangement like this if you have an interesting prop and a great idea without breaking the bank. And then if you've got greenery in the garden or your neighbor's garden and you've got little red berries that you can find in the neighborhood, then those materials are free, right? And you can invest in some faux fruits like grapes and pears. Just go to your local craft store like Michael's or Hobby Lobby or Amazon for things like this, or just kind of collect them. You can put together an arrangement with big impact on a small budget. I hope you enjoyed this video today and learned something. If you're new to my channel, please subscribe and click the little bell to be notified when I put out a new video. For those of you who join me every week, hello, and I hope you enjoy the video. Send me a comment to let me know what you're up to this week. I've opened the community section of my channel and it's been very rewarding. A lot of you are sending me these amazing arrangements that you're doing at home and I'm super impressed. So go out and buy some flowers, treat yourself to nature's little luxury, and I will see you in my next video.